was talking from such a long time, Mataji. I did not realize that I am on mute.
It's okay, Mataji.
I was saying, yes, I am making live and all everything.
Okay. No problem, Mataji.
Yeah. Mataji, you may start with some kirtan. By the time, everybody will join.
Bhuvana Mataji, you will do kirtan.
Me, Mataji? No, Mataji, you do, Mataji. After a long time.
No. You do, then I'll start.
Okay.
Then I'll just do Jai Shri Chaitanya.
Okay, Mataji. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you're on mute.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadanti Swapadanti Kamandayam Shri Guru Shri Utaha Padakamalam Shri Guru वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा ललितां श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनाबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता स्तुते नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'll just share my screen first. Okay, 156 actually. Yes. So today we'll be reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 18 chapter 156 onwards. So we know that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent his time ecstatically every moment in Vrindavan Dham. And last time we also discussed all this time devotees also discussed about the glories of the Vrindavan Dham also. And then we know that Lord Chaitanya was staying in Akrura Ghat area, and lot of devotees were giving him invitations for lunch prasadam. And at one point it was like too much of crowd to manage, and Balabhadra Bhattacharya, being the personal servant of Mahaprabhu, was finding it very difficult. And so he inquired with the Sanodaya Brahmana and Krishnadas Rajputa Krishnadasa also, and finally they come to a conclusion that we will propose to Lord Chaitanya that maybe we should leave Vrindavan now and move towards Prayag, where the Ganges is flowing. And since it was the month of they had arrived in Kartik, that is almost October, and they lived in Vrindavan for almost 2 months, and that will be almost December. And then now if they move towards Prayag, that will be during Makara Sankramana. January 15th is Makara Sankramana. So maybe they'll take some time to walk and go. Na? So during Makara Sankramana time, they can be in the Prayag area, and that is a good time because that Kumbh Mela also happens. Or maybe that year Kumbh Mela is there or not, I don't know. But at least they can take bath in the confluence of Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati. So that is very auspicious during Makara Sankramana if they take bath. So in that pretext, we know that how Balabhadra Bhattacharya proposes to Lord Chaitanya that maybe if we should leave Vrindavan now and move towards Prayag. That way from Yamuna we'll go towards Ganges. But then he also says to Lord Chaitanya that, but the decision is yours. This is my proposal. That Mahaprabhu, although means he really loved Vrindavan, and there was no question of him thinking of leaving Vrindavan. Nonetheless, for him, the comfort of his devotees also was very important. And he said that, as you say, because you have helped me, because being Supreme Lord, he was exhibiting he was a personification of Tranadapi Sunichena. So he actually told Balabhadra Bhattacharya that it is all of your mercy that today I was able to visit Vrindavana, and you have brought me to Vrindavana. You had given me the happiness of Vrindavana. So now, yeah, I'm all ready to go out of Vrindavana and go towards Prayag. So he agreed to the plan of Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Now the entourage of Lord Chaitanya is Lord Chaitanya. While coming only, they had Balabhadra Bhattacharya and a Brahmana assistants to Balabhadra Bhattacharya, like that. So there were three already. And now we have that Rajputa Krishnadasa who has joined their team. And we have the Sanodaya Brahmana of Mathura who had served Mahadevendra Puri also. So all these five people, 4 plus 1, one is Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and 4 assistants. So like this, they finally decide to go out of Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu, the concept, the thought of moving out of Vrindavan also gave him. He was filled with ecstasy, with emotions, and he did not tell anything, but he was filled with the ecstatic love, because love for Vrindavana, that love of separation also. So that was the mood of Lord Chaitanya when that proposal, when the time came for him to apparently step out of Vrindavan. So that is 18156. Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji,
Dandavats,
Hari Bol.
Dandavats. Yes.
Bhaya vikara nahi, prema vishtamana, Bhattacharya kahe chala, yehi mahavana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although the Lord did not exhibit any external symptoms, his mind was filled with ecstatic love. At that time, Balabhadra Bhattacharya said, "Let us go to Mahavana, Gokula." Hare Krishna.
So
Dandot
Balabhadra
Pranam Mataji.
Bhattacharya told that first, before stepping out of Vrindavana, we will go towards Mahavana, that is Gokul Mahavan, where that is the birthplace of Lord Krishna. After that, like that, in that direction we'll go, and then we'll go out like that. So they move towards, from Akrura Ghat, they move towards Mahavana, that is Gokul Mahavana. Bhuvana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. एतबली महाप्रभुरे नौकाय भाषाना पाराकरी भट्टाचार्य चलिललया. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Saying this, Balabhadra Bhattacharya made Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sit abroad a boat. After they crossed the river, he took the Lord with him. Thank you much.
Sit aboard a boat, that is, they wanted to cross the Yamuna. So Mahaprabhu sat in the front and everybody else, and then they crossed the river. River must be Yamuna. So now we are not many people anyways. So everybody can raise their hands, at least one by one, by 6, 7, 8 we are, na? So I think everybody should raise your hand. Just 2 minutes only it will be, na? Krishnamurti Prabhuji, 158.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Premi Krishnanandara Saita Brahmana Gangatira Pathe Yehi Bara Vigna Duyi Jana. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Both Prajaputa Krishnananda, Krishnadasa, and the Sanodiya Brahmana knew the path along the Ganges bank very well. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So what they thought is they crossed the Yamuna and they caught the pathway that leads from Vrindavan towards Prayaga. So that will be, means generally when they walk, they try to walk on the bank of the river. So that path, which path along the Ganges bank, this Rajputa Krishnadasa and Sanodaya Brahmana knew very well. The other two are Bengalis, our Balabhadra Bhattacharya and his assistant Brahmana. So they have come from Bengal. So much they don't know about this area, looks like. That one more Prabhuji, Mataji, who has kept the name Redmi.
Sorry, Mata, I have to change my name. Padma.
Padma, yes.
Mataji, I'll read now. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Yaite eka vrikshataale prabhu sapalana rasi rasa para pata shanti dekhiya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. While walking, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding that the others were fatigued, took them all beneath the tree and sat down. Thank you, Mataji.
So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is walking, he just walks in transcendental ecstasy, and there is no question of being fatigued or tired or sleepy. That we know that how in Navadvip, when after coming back from Gaya, when he started the Sankirtan movement, for 3 continuous days, day and night, they used to perform Kirtan at Sriva's house. So that kind of energy levels Mahaprabhu had, and he is a Supreme Lord. That is one part. But otherwise, as a devotee also, he brought every devotee in that level. And for 3 full days, day and night, they used to perform kirtana. And sometimes once in Sriva's house for 9 continuous hours without breaks, they were doing kirtan. So like that, Mahaprabhu has that kind of energy. And here, but he understood that everybody was of a different age group also and different bodily composition or strength like that. So Mahaprabhu felt that maybe they are not able to walk. So he was so conscious about the devotees who are with him, and he takes them on retreat to take some rest. So that is, we have to learn so much from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that when we are going in association with devotees, we need to be so sensitive about the needs. Everybody has a little different kind of uh, energy or strength. So we need to be little sensitive with whom we are traveling. Or so it is not that he was just very transcendental all the time. So he was caring, was very explicitly caring also. Padmaja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Tandat Pranam.
Afterwards.
Sei vriksha nikate chare bahu gata gana
Gabi.
गाभी बहु गाभी गाना ताहे देखे महाप्रभु राव लासीता मना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. There were very many cows grazing near the tree, and the Lord was very pleased to see them. Haribol
Then
Mataji.
on the way when they are walking, they are seeing many cows that are grazing. So immediately, as a devotee, he remembered Krishna. And it is also told that when we are doing Govardhana Parikrama, if we see two cows and a cowherd boy, then we should understand that no, one cow and two cowherd boys, something like that. If we see, we should understand that, or a herd of cows and cowherd boys too, like that. Krishna Balrama, like that. So when he saw the cows grazing, anything connected with Krishna, that brings devotees into that ecstatic mood. So on the similar lines, Mahaprabhu was very happy by seeing cows grazing near that tree. Near that tree, the tree which they had taken rest, like that. Bhuvana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Achambite eka gopa vamshi bajaila suni mahaprabhura maha prema vesha haila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Suddenly a cowherd boy blew on his flute, and immediately the Lord was struck with ecstatic love. Thank you.
Then to add that, somebody blew on his flute also. Already there were cows. Then always covered boy also. Then he was playing on his flute also. It all Mahaprabhu's ecstatic symptoms were just going high and high, because he was getting deeper into Lord Krishna's pastimes by seeing the situation around. So the next one, again Padmaja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
अचेतन हाना प्रभु भूमि ते पडिला मुखे फेने पदाना नास्या correct Mataji? Nasaya Swasarutha Haila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Filled with ecstatic love, the Lord fell to the ground unconscious. He foamed about the mouth and his breathing stopped.
So that was the level of ecstasy which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited actually. He saw the cows, he saw the covered boys, he heard him playing the flute. Immediately he was transported to the spiritual world, and he felt unconscious. So at least in our level, immediately it should remind us of Krishna. Basically, at least under minimal is at least remind us of Krishna. And if we can remind us of some of the pastimes of Krishna, which includes the cowherd, how he was herding the cows in Vrindavana, something. So at least we should connect to Krishna. And in Mahaprabhu's thing, it became like he was transported to the spiritual world at that time. And immediately he felt unconscious. Krishnamurti Prabhuji, you want to read, or you have not put your hand down?
Oh, sorry, Mataji. I will read, Mataji, now.
163.
Hena kalela tahana asoyara dasaila milecha patana goda haiti uttarila. Translation.
Mlecha Patana Godha Haita Uttarila.
Mlecha patana goda haita uttarila. Translation by Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada ki jai. While the Lord was unconscious. 10 cavalry soldiers belonging to the Muslim Pathana military order rode up and dismounted. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So during those times, all over the place where Muslim rules was happening, and they had all the soldiers all around the place. So we know that how when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he uh, wanted to visit Vrindavan only, he had to cross few places where he had to pay toll and cross the Muslim area. And then we know how Ramananda Rai had helped him to cross the river, and how that Muslim only helped him to, he was only brought a boat and made Mahaprabhu cross it. So the point is, all over the place Muslim rule was going on. And now what happened is they crossed the borders of Vrindavan, and when they are walking that outskirts, because Prayaga is quite away and they have to walk a long distance. At that time, suddenly Mahaprabhu is seeing, is going into ecstasy and is falling unconscious. And at that very moment, 10 soldiers riding on horses, they are the Muslim Pathana military order, military Pathana soldiers actually. They came and they stood in front of these four, now totally 5 people. Mahaprabhu and 4 people and those 10 people. Those, no one else is around. They come, they ride up to these people and they dismounted, and now they are standing in front of the 4. 4 are, they are conscious. No, only Mahaprabhu is unconscious. Parameshwari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Prabhura dega mlecha hariye bichara.
प्रभुरा देखी अमलेचा कर ये विचारा.
प्रभुरे देखे मलेचा हरे विचारा.
येती पाशचिला सुवर्ण अपारा.
येती पाशचिला स्वर्ण अपारा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Seeing the Lord unconscious, the soldiers, though this sannyasi must have possessed a large quantity of gold.
So now these the Pathana soldiers, they are only cooking up some story now. So they are coming, they are seeing there is a sannyasi has fallen unconscious, and these 4 men are around them. They come in, so this horses, they get down, and now they are discussing that, oh, looks like the sannyasi had lot of gold. Like that, a new story they are bringing up now. Uma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Ei chari bhatoyara dutura kavo yana mari dhari ache yetira sabdhana laya. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. These 4 rogues here must have taken away that sannyasi's riches after killing him by making him take the poison Dutura.
So this Dutura had seen, I don't know whether you know or not, Dutura flower is one like long flower with a white, like it's like a funnel. It looks like a funnel. It is white in color, and it is like that. It is in the head there are 5 petals, and it has a tube kind of structure. And the body of that plant has thorns also. So this time, last year when we went to Vrindavan area, who was he? I know. And Prabhuji, he showed us a Dhutara plant actually. The typical Dhutara plant, it is white in color. So that is all over the place in Vrindavan, outside Vrindavan. It's like a very, the plant is very, means it's not someone doesn't grow. It is all over in the fence area. It just grows by itself. And these people, they only created a story. It's a poisonous plant, basically. Dhutara is a poisonous plant. So they only created one story that these 4 people would have fed poison to that sannyasi through this Dhutura. And now that sannyasi has left his body. Maybe he had a lot of riches, and these people want to plunder their riches. Like that, they only made up one story. Chandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
ताबे से पठानाचारी जाने बंधीला काटीते चाहे गौड़िया सभा कंपिते लागिला. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thinking this, the Patana soldiers arrested the 4 persons and decided to kill them. Because of this, the 2 Bengalis began to tremble. Translate.
Yes.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The 4 persons were Balabhadra Bhattacharya, his assistant Brahmana, the Rajputa Krishnadasa, and the Sanodia Brahmana, devotee of Madhavendra Puri. Thank you,
So
Mataji.
now what happened is now the Pathan soldiers are telling, oh, looks like this man has this sannyasi, they have fed poison dhatura to this sannyasi, and now these 4 people are going to plunder his riches. Let's kill these people. The thought when they're looking at them, staring, they're military soldiers, they're Muslim soldiers, also military, very healthy, strong, 10 of them in number. They have got down from their horses. Seeing these only 2 Bengalis, the Balabhadra Bhattacharya and his Brahmana, his assistant Brahmana, they started trembling only. There, we are dead today. We are done. So they immediately thought that we are done. Today we are not going to be alive anymore, like that. They thought by then, so that is what they're telling. The Rajputa Krishnadas and Sanodaya Brahmana, they did not get frightened actually. So Thingi Patana arrested the 4 and decided to kill them. Hearing this, so we know who the 4 people are. That is Balabhadra Bhattacharya, his assistant Brahmana, Rajputa Krishnadas and Sanodaya Brahmana. Okay. Next one. Bhuvana Mataji.
हरि बोल माता जी। कृष्णदास राजा पुत निर्भय से भड़ा से विप्र निर्भय से मुके भड़ा धड़ा। Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The devotee Krishnadasa, who belonged to the Rajaputa race, was very fearless. The Sanodhya Brahmana was also fearless and he spoke very brave. Thank you.
So these 2 people, no, Sanodaya Brahmana, Rajputa Krishnadas, they were very brave because they are from that area. Our Balabhadra Bhattacharya and his sisters, they are from little away, so they get a little confused and fearful also because it is little not their home region. These people were more strong because they are from that UP area only. Because they are still getting out of Vrindavana. That is one thing. Another thing is Rajputa. No, he is Rajputa Krishnadasa. So they have that warrior thing also within them. So they cannot be so fearless. So then what happens is, now who has raised their hand now? Or those who have raised, they have not kept their hand down. Padma Mataji, you want to read again?
Yes, Madani. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
विप्र कहे पठाना तुम्हारा बात सारा दोहाई चल तुम्ही आम्ही सिद्धारा पास आई. Translation.
Yeah. You are muted. Suddenly you got muted, Padma Mataji.
Okay. I'll read the translation, Madani.
Yes.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Brahmana said, "You Patana soldiers are all under the protection of your king. Let us go to your commander and get his decision." Thank you, Mataji.
So then they thought that there is no question of being fearful. So they gave a suggestion. Okay, you don't decide. You go to your leader. We will also allow us to talk. We will explain like that. They'll say. Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
ये याति अमर गुरु आमी मथुरा ब्राह्मण पत्सर आगे आछे मोर सत जना. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. This sannyasi is my spiritual master and I am from Mathura. I am a Brahmana and I know many people who are in the service of the Muslim king. Hare Krishna.
So the Sanodaya Brahmana, now the Brahmana who is talking is Sanodaya Brahmana. Sanodaya Brahmana is from Mathura. So, and he's from that area only. Now they have come out of Vrindavan and walking towards one path. So they are very much in the Vrindavan Mathura area only. So he says that I am from Mathura, I am a Brahmana, and I know this Muslim king and his people. So I know many people. So very bravely he talks actually, basically. Padmaja Mataji, those who finished can put a hand down also. Padmaja Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Yes.
ये यते व्यधीते काबू है न मूर्छिता अब Abanhi Chetana Paibe Haiba Samvita. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. This sannyasi sometimes falls unconscious due to the influence of a disease. Please sit down here and you will see that he will very soon regain consciousness and his normal condition. Haribol
So he
Mataji.
says that that Sanodaya Brahmana says that you wait for some time. Sometimes he has a particular disease. That epilepsy is a disease actually. So simply he says, because there is no point in telling that he is the supreme lord and he gets into ecstasy. All those things the Patana soldiers, Muslim kings soldiers will not understand. So he says that he has some disease. Sometimes he just stands and just falls down unconscious, and after some time he comes back to consciousness. You just wait here, and then after some time you come back to normal condition. Can you ask questions? So you are thinking that we have poisoned him, we are trying to take his riches. You can ask him, and then you can decide for yourself what is going to happen. Like that, he gives a suggestion. Anuradha Mataji. Anuradha Mataji, want to say? Okay. क्षणे कहियम वैश्य बंदी रखा सबारे इन्हा के पूछिया तबे मारे यहाँ सबारे. Sit down here for a while and keep us all under arrest. While the sannyasi regains his senses, you can question him. Then, if you like, you can kill us. So he gives an interesting suggestion, telling that, okay, you want to put us under arrest? Okay, you keep us under arrest. And when the sannyasi wakes up, you can ask him question, and then you can decide for yourself. Parameshwari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Padanagahedumi Pashchima Madhura Duhi Jana Gaudiya Dakhi Kanbe Duhi Jana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Padana soldiers said, "You are all Raghus. One of you rogues. One of you belongs to the western lands. One to the district of Madura, and the other two who are trembling belong to Bengal." Hare
So
Krishna.
these Patana soldiers, by seeing them only, understood that who is from where. So that Sanodaya Brahmana is talking. So he says that you are from district of Mathura. The one belongs to western lands. Western lands is Rajputa Krishnadasa. The Rajput is Rajasthan. No? So Rajputa Krishnadasa is from the western lands, from the west, because they are on the eastern side. Vrindavana towards Prayaga they are going. Allahabad, that's it. Almost not properly west. In between, no, upper it is. So he says one belongs to the western lands, that is Rajputa Krishnadasa, and other two are Bengali devotees. So by seeing them, he understood, or maybe little they asked also. So he tells like this: see, no, all of you are rogues only, like that he says. And Chandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. कृष्ण दासे काहे हमारा घर ग्रामा कृष्ण दास काहे हमारा घरे ग्रामे दुई शत तुर्की आछे साथे का कामने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rajaputa Krishnadasa said, I have my home here and I also have about 200 Turkish soldiers and about 100 cannons. Thank you,
So
Mataji.
Rajputa Krishnadasa is saying, I am not from the western side. I have my house here also, and I have 200 Turkish soldiers, and I have 100. So he is trying to put across, telling that, no, we are not scared of you. Even I have enough people to fight with you. Like that, he is putting across to those Patana soldiers. Shobha Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा तनुज एखानी साइभे सभा आमी याही पुकारी गोधा पीधा लूटी लबे तोमा सभा मारी. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. If I call loudly, they will come immediately to kill you and plunder your horses and saddles.
So he's trying to say that if you are thinking of doing any harm to us, it's not possible. I have 100 people with me. I have so many soldiers. I have so many cannons. And if I just put a signal, they will come and they will kill you. So don't try to scare us like that. Krishna, Rajaputta Krishnadasa is trying to simply tell. Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Gaudiya Bata Pada Nahe Tumi Bata Pada Titha Vasi Luta Ara Chaha Mari Bara. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Bengali pilgrims are not rogues. You are rogues. For you want to kill the pilgrims and plunder them.
So
Thank you,
because these
Mataji.
Bengali devotees are more very frightened, scared, and like that, they were looking. So they concluded. The Pathan soldiers said that is their own mental concoction, telling that these Bengalis are not rogues. They are not, because they were a little scared, na. And here this Rajputa Krishnadas and Sanodaya Brahman are talking. No, so they said you are rogues. You are killing pilgrims. Like that, they only made a cooked up story. Simply, there is no logic behind what they are talking. Simply nonsense they are talking. Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Yes.
सुनिया पठान माने संकोच एहि ऐला हेना काले महाप्रभु चैतन्य पैला। Translation by C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Upon hearing this challenge, the Patana soldiers became hesitant. Then suddenly Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regained unconsciousness. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Upon hearing this challenge means, one second. One minute. No, actually, this Sanodaya, this Rajputa Krishnadas only is telling that I have 100 cannons, I have so many people. When I call them, they will come. These Bengalis are not rogues, because this apparently Bengalis are little from outside place now. In Vrindavan area, they're from outside place. So these are not rogues. You are rogues. You want to plunder everybody. So like that, the Rajputa Krishnadasa is telling to the Pathana soldiers. So upon hearing this challenge, the Pathana soldiers became hesitant. Then they suddenly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regained consciousness. At that time, they were little stunned. Oh, means he was trying to challenge. No, they were little stunned and got a little confused. By then, Mahaprabhu came back to his consciousness. Padmaja Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Yes.
ओंकारा करिया उठे बाले हरि हरि ब्रह्मवेश नित्य करे उद्वा बाहु करी। Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Coming to his sense, the Lord very loudly began chanting the holy name Hari Hari. The Lord raised his arms upward and began to dance in ecstatic love. Haribol Mataji.
Mahaprabhu all the time was in ecstasy only. And now he again came back to consciousness. Again, Hari, 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 Hari Bol is telling, and he started dancing in ecstasy. And now Pathan soldiers are seeing that the other four are seeing he is totally unaware of what all happened in between. He was in ecstasy, he fell down in ecstasy, got up in ecstasy, and now he's chanting in ecstasy. Uma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
प्रेमावेशे प्रभु यबे करे ना चित्कारा ब्लेचारे हृदये ना लागे शेला धारा। Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. When the Lord shouted very loudly in ecstatic love, it appeared to the Muslim soldiers that their hearts were struck by thunderbolts. Hare Krishna.
That was very thunderous actually. Mahaprabhu's voice and his personality was very huge and very impactful actually. So when Mahaprabhu started singing or he was exhibiting his ecstasy, it felt that the Muslim soldiers felt that their hearts were struck with thunderbolts. Means they were taken aback actually. They were taken aback. Bhuvana Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। भाया पायामले छाड़ी दिला चारी जना प्रभु ना देखिला निज घनेरा बंधना। Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Seized by fire, sorry Mataji,
Yes,
by
yes.
fear, all the Patana soldiers immediately released the 4 persons. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not see his personal associates arrested. Thank you, Mataji.
So in between what had happened is when the Patana soldiers initially they came, they doubted these 4 people, and then they said that looks like you are a thief, he had some money, like that they told. At that time, Sarvodaya Brahmana and Rajaputa Krishnadasa, they said that if you have any doubts, what you do is you arrest us and let a leader come, or otherwise wait for some time. The sannyasi will come back to consciousness. You can discuss with him, and then you can decide for yourself that what you want to do, because now you are thinking that we have poisoned him. So in between they had arrested him. But when Mahaprabhu just got up and he just they exhibited his ecstatic symptoms, and thunderously he started chanting. Immediately the Muslim soldiers felt that they were kind of scared, and they released the 4 people. And before Mahaprabhu could see them, only they are already released. So he didn't even know that these 4 were actually arrested in between. He just saw them as they were, because he felt unconscious. Now he's getting up, he's seeing the Patana soldiers, he's seeing his 4 associates, and he's in ecstasy always. So that was the situation actually that happened. Anuradha Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji, before I couldn't, I did not unmute myself. Yeah. Bhattacharya Ashi Prabhure Dhari Vasaila Mlecha Dhana Deki Mahaprabhura Bhaya Haila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ji, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. At that time, Balabhadra Bhattacharya went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and made him sit down. Seeing the Muslim soldiers, the Lord regained his normal senses.
So till now, Mahaprabhu is in that ecstatic mood only. And then Balabhadra Bhattacharya, seeing Mahaprabhu, he just caught hold of him and Aram se made him sit down. And at that time, Mahaprabhu noticed, that is the time he is noticing the Pathana soldiers and he's seeing the place, everything, what's happening. Then he came back to his real consciousness. Otherwise, he was in a transcendental mood only. And suddenly he was brought, made him sit, and then he is looking around and he's seeing them and he's like, yeah, what's the situation? Where are we? What's happening? Like that, Mahaprabhu is thinking. 181. Mlechagana asi prabhura vandila charana. Prabhu aage kahe e thakchari jana. All the Muslim soldiers then came before the Lord, worshipped his lotus feet and said, here are 4 rogues. So this suddenly there was a change of heart to the Muslim soldiers actually. And by seeing Mahaprabhu's personality only, immediately it affected the core of their hearts. These things have happened many throughout Mahaprabhu's South India Yatra, or when he was going with his devotees for the Chandkazi thing also. Many places, whoever came in touch with him, whoever happened to be around him, everybody's heart was transformed. That was pure mercy, direct mercy during that time. Whoever around Mahaprabhu, everybody got Krishna Prema. So now these 4 rogues, when they saw the Lord, they were thinking that he had their own story, and they were really confused, and they seeing Mahaprabhu, and just by seeing him and hearing that, seeing his transcendental ecstasies and hear him chant, immediately they worshipped his lotus feet. Immediately they started worshipping Lord, and they are kind of trying to tell Mahaprabhu, you know what, Mahaprabhu, these 4 are rogues. Like that they want to tell to Mahaprabhu. Chandana Mataji.
এই চারি মিলিত মায়া ধূতা রাখা ওয়ানা তোমারা ধন লাইলা তোমায়া পাগুলা করিয়া. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Though these rogues have made you take dhutura, having made you mad, they have taken all your possessions. Thank you, Mataji.
So they only created one story. You know what, these 4 are there, and then you went unconscious, and that time they have made you mad because they gave you dhutura and they are taking away all your possessions. We are trying to help you. Like that, they go and they worship his lotus feet and tell all this. Parameshwari Mataji. This time who spoke? Yes.
Prabhu
Kahena.
Kahena taka nahe mora sanghi jana Bhikshuka sannyasi mora nahi kichudana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, these are not raghus, they are my rogues, they are my associates. Being sannyasi, beggar, I do not possess anything.
So he says, no, you don't even think that I had a lot of money, wealth, and these people wanted to snatch me, so they no, nothing like that. I am a sannyasi, I am a beggar, I don't have anything, I just have whatever it is. Whatever you see is what I have. These four are my dear devotees, they are my associates, and there is no, whatever you're thinking is completely false. There is nothing true to that. Padma Mataji. Okay. Krishnamurti.
Okay, Mataji. Okay,
Yes,
Mataji.
Padma.
Yeah, it was not coming.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Mrigi vyadi te amiga hai achetana ei jari daya kari kare na palana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Due to epilepsy, I sometimes fall unconscious. Out of their mercy, these four men maintain me. Thank you,
So
Mataji.
same argument this four also told that suddenly he has some disease, he falls down, he becomes unconscious, and then after some time he'll regain consciousness. That time you can talk to him directly. And now Mahaprabhu is also telling, I have epilepsy and I sometimes fall unconscious. That disease takes a person from a sane state to unconscious state suddenly. So out of their mercy, these four people are helping me actually, because now and then I fall down. Like that, Mahaprabhu is trying to protect his devotees. Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. सेयिम्लेच मध्ये एका परम गंभीरा काला वस्त्र परे सेयी लोके कहे पीरा. Translation by Sri Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Among the Muslims was a grave person who was wearing a black dress. People called him a saintly person.
There was a leader for these Muslims. There was a leader. He was wearing a black dress and he was like apparently very grave like that. And he looked very distant. So that person was, they called him as a saintly person. Bhuvanamati.
Hare Krishna Mataji. 1 second. चित्ता आद्रा हैला तारा प्रभु रे देखिया निर्विशेष ब्रह्म स्थापे स्वशास्त्र उत्थाना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The heart of Mataji, can you just scroll up, Mataji?
Yes.
Yeah. The heart of that saintly person softened upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to talk to him and established the impersonal Brahman on the basis of his own scripture, the Quran. Thank you, Mataji.
So actually others also, their heart also kind of transferred and they worshipped his lotus feet, they said, na. So now that saintly person, that in between that Pathan soldiers, the saintly person, he actually, because he was a saintly person, he was also a preacher. He wanted to preach his understanding. So he wanted to preach because typically Islam has that impersonal understanding. So he wanted to establish an impersonal aspect based on Quran to Mahaprabhu, because he's like, you are leader, I am leader, my mission is this, you know what, this is what it is. So he wanted to impress upon Mahaprabhu by talking about Quran. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanva Pranam. Advaita Brahmavada sei karila sthapana Tara Shastra Yukte Tare Prabhu Kaila Kandhana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When that person tried to establish the impersonal Brahman conception of the absolute truth on the basis of the Quran, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refuted his argument. Thank you, Mataji.
Mahaprabhu is a king of refuting against Mayavas. The great Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also had given up and he became a devotee. Then we had the Prakashananda Saraswati with the 60,000 disciples. Everybody surrendered to Mahaprabhu. Though everybody was defeated in their argument about the impersonal Brahman and how Mahaprabhu put across the personal aspect of the Supreme Lord. And now this Pathan soldiers is trying to tell something and Mahaprabhu nicely refuted his argument. यही कैला प्रभु सकली खंडीला उतरा ना ऐसे मुखे महाशब्द हैला. Whatever arguments he put forward, law refuted all. Finally, the person became stunned and could not speak. He was like totally taken aback. The great Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could not speak. Then we had a Prakasha and the Saraswati who could not speak. They were all talking based on Vedas at least. Now this Pathan soldiers, he's also trying to talk from the Quran only. He was completely stunned by seeing Mahaprabhu's way and his personality and his looks, and he is a Supreme Lord. Everything was completely conquered by Mahaprabhu's words, deeds, his action, his looks, everything. And he just could not open his mouth. Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Ye kahila Prabhu sakali
No. This is done. 1 second. Yeah. Yes.
प्रभु कहे तोमर शास्त्र स्थाप्य निर्विशेष तहा कांडिस सविसेना स्थाप्य शेषा. Translation Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the Quran certainly establishes impersonalism, but at the end it refutes that impersonalism and establish the personal God. Hare Krishna.
So Mahaprabhu is telling Quran also first apparently it focuses on impersonalism, but at the end he established the personal God. So that we know from Shankaracharya also, because Shankaracharya, incarnation of Lord Shiva, came to for a particular purpose, was spreading Mahayava throughout India, and but at the end he wrote Govindam, what is Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda. That is Bhaja Govinda Moodhamata. Oh foolish people, folk worship Govinda. So he, at the end, in his personal writings, many places he emphasizes on the personal feature or personal worship or personal aspect of the Supreme Lord. Although his main task was to preach Mayavad. So similarly, he says that the Quran by itself is something that propagates impersonalism. Nonetheless, at the end of it, it focuses on the personal aspect of the Supreme Lord. Like that Mahaprabhu says. Bhuvana Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी. तोमारा शास्त्र कहे शेष एक ही ईश्वर सर्वैश्वर्य पूर्ण ते हो श्याम कले बरा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Quran accepts the fact that ultimately there is only one God. He is full of opulence and his bodily complexion is blackish. Purport also, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The revealed scripture of the Muslim is the Quran. There is one Muslim sampradaya known as Sufis. The Sufis accept impersonalism, believing in the oneness of the living entity with the absolute truth. Their supreme slogan is Ana Halak. The Sufi sampradaya were certainly derived from Shankaracharya's impersonalist. Thank you,
So
Mataji.
here Prabhupada is trying to say that they have something called a Sufi, which are specifically focusing on the impersonal absolute truth. But Mahaprabhu in the translation, it said that Mahaprabhu is telling that at the I mean we don't know so much about Quran, but in the end of Quran, they are telling that there is one God who is full of opulence. Like we know that Krishna means one who is all attractive and who has 6 opulences in full. So here it is told that Quran says that there is one God who is full of opulence and his bodily complexion is blackish. And he is Krishna only. So Mahaprabhu is trying to say that although Quran was apparently for impersonalism, at the end it focused on the personal feature of the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada in his purport is trying that there is one particular section or a sect of Muslims called as the Sufis, who actually have their understanding based on Shankaracharya's impersonalism, like that Prabhupada says. Sudhamat.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी. दंडवत प्रणाम. सच्चित आनंद देह पूर्ण ब्रह्म स्वरूप सर्वात्म सर्वज्ञ नित्य सर्वादि स्वरूप. Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. According to the Quran, the Lord has a supreme, blissful, transcendental body. He is the absolute truth, the all-pervading, omniscient, and eternal way. He is the origin of everything.
So Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajam. He is telling that the Quran, it is clearly written that Lord has supreme, blissful, transcendental body. He is the absolute truth, present everywhere. He is the origin of everything. Looks like in Quran, it is written like that. Like that in that section, that is what Mahaprabhu emphasizes on that saintly Pathan. Sudha, no? Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Tatana Iti Haya Stula Sukshma Jagatera Tenu Samasraya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Creation, maintenance, and dissolution come from him. He is the original shelter of all gross and subtle cosmic manifestations. Thank you,
He says
Mataji.
that he is the creator, he is the maintainer, he is the annihilator. So he is now, Mahaprabhu is in mood of glorifying the Supreme Lord Krishna to the Patan soldiers. So definitely that person will be completely transformed only. Anuradha Mataji. Quickly we'll finish. Anuradha Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sarva Shrestha Sarva Varadhya Karanera Karana Sandra Haya Vetara Samsara Tarana. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Lord is the supreme truth, worshipable by everyone. He is the cause of all causes. By engaging in his devotional service, the living entity is relieved
from material existence.
From material existence.
So Mahaprabhu is trying to tell now, is explicitly explaining glories of the personal feature of the Lord, how it can help a material conditioned soul to actually go back to the spiritual world. On that line, Mahaprabhu is trying to explain. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranam. तारा सेवा विना जीवेरा नया या संसार तारा चरणे प्रीति पुरुषार्थ सार. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. No conditioned soul can get out of material bondage without serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Love at his lotus feet is the ultimate goal of life. Purport by Prabhupada ki Jai. According to the Muslim scripture, without Evadat, offering prayers at a mosque or elsewhere 5 times daily, namaz, one cannot be successful in life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed out that in the revealed scripture of the Muslims, love of Godhead is the ultimate goal. Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are certainly described in the Quran, but ultimately the Quran states that the ultimate goal is the offering of prayers to the Supreme Person, Evadat.
So he is trying, so it looks like means the karma yoga and jnana yoga is very explicitly explained in the Quran, but later it focus or it is not very clearly given in the Quran, but it aims at offering person, aims at the Supreme Personality, the Supreme Person, Evadat, like that here it is told in the purport. So it finally focus. So those who are real readers, they will read through, and they read through, they'll understand that finally the Quran is telling that finally the worship should be to the personal aspect of the Lord is glorified here. Bhuvana Mataji. I wanted to just finish this section. Let's see.
Mokshadi Ananda Yara Nahi Eka Khana Purnananda Prapti Tara Charana Sevana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The happiness of liberation, whereby one merges into the Lord existence, cannot even be compared to a fragment of the transcendental bliss obtained by service unto the Lord's lotus feet. Thank you,
So
Mataji.
he's explaining, glorifying that how personal aspect is so much blissful, so much fulfilling, how much completely satisfying, that surrendering to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord is much, much, much on a higher level of bliss and understanding and fulfilling than merging into the Lord's existence. So he's trying to say that how personalism is more benefactor and more understanding, more blissful than the impersonal aspect of the Quran. I don't know how much it is. Okay. Yeah, read. One more. Yes. Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. कर्म ज्ञान योग आगे करिय स्थापना सभा कंडी स्थापे विश्वरा तनहर सेवना. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. In the Quran, there are descriptions of fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, mystic power, and union with the Supreme. But ultimately, all this is refuted and the Lord's personal future established, along with his devotional service. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So Quran also explains devotional service. Just that the from the we don't get into the deep knowledge of Quran, then they go for the impersonal aspect. But actually, in detail, in depth, when we see Quran also focuses on the personal aspect and the service, devotional service aspect of the Supreme Lord. That's what Mahaprabhu is telling now. Sudha Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण। तोमारा पंडित साधरा नाही शास्त्र ज्ञान पूर्वा परा विधि मध्ये द्वारा बलवान. Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. The scholars of the Quran are not very advanced in knowledge. Although there are many methods prescribed, they do not know that the ultimate conclusion should be considered the most powerful. Thank you, Mataji.
So they are not, the realizations are not very strong. The Quran as a religious book, it has everything. The scripture is very perfect. Just that under the realization part is, so they're not understanding that although all these are very elaborately explained in the Quran, at the end the conclusion is focusing on the personal aspect. So only Srila Prabhupada, what he does see in the Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, what happens? Second chapter is a summary of the entire Gita. Third, fourth, fifth, they actually focus on Karma Yoga. Then we have the last section is again Jnana Yoga. So, regular typical translator may focus on Karma Yoga, and because the last 6 chapters are also Jnana Yoga, the person may get confused, and our Bhakti Yoga, which is in between, may be forgotten, not understood only. But Srila Prabhupada, in every chapter, almost all the purports, he brings back the factor of Bhakti Yoga, that the ultimate conclusion is Bhakti Yoga, ultimate conclusion is personal aspect, ultimate conclusion is devotional service to Supreme Lord. That is, so when he is explaining in deep about the Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga aspects, also Bhakti Yoga is very much present with his purports. So that is a very important part of the Acharyas actually. That is what is told is the Acharyas have not focused on the personal aspect of the Lord. Only they are focused on the other outer situations, outer aspects, that is impersonal. So we also have the understanding of the Brahman aspect, the Paramatma aspect. Then we understand there is the Bhagavan aspect, which is in deep, which is the real realization where we have to focus. So that has to be given by the Acharyas, which is where Srila Prabhupada is perfect Acharya, and he has taken conclusions from Sridhar Swami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, like that. So this is the parampara, how it should come. But if there is no proper people in the parampara, as it has been focused here, what happens? The actual ultimate conclusion is not highlighted only, and people do not know what is they are reading and what is the ultimate conclusion of the book. So when we read Bhagavad Gita as it is, we understand the ultimate conclusion is focusing on the Bhakti Yoga. That is very important. That Acharya should bring out that. That is not, then the whole purpose is lost actually. So we will stop here because I was thinking this section will get over. It will take some more time, I guess. So with that, we stop here. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, one announcement.
Hey, yes.
Mataji, being Diwali, shall we meet tomorrow or next week, Mataji? Sitarani Mataji messaged me to ask the devotees.
Devotees yours.
Is that okay, Madi?
Devotees, what you want to do?
On Diwali day, Mataji, 12th better, no? Ask others also, Mataji.
What is better?
12th.
No, the point what they're telling is 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. See, now from 10th only holiday is there. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Because anyways, 15th, so next is 15th only. By then, Godam Puja is also over. So you want holiday from 10th or from 9th itself? That is the question now.
Okay.
For Diwali.
Anything
from
I'll
10th.
I'll go with
From
others also. 10th, I think 10th should be okay.
10th should be okay, na?
Yeah.
Tomorrow you want to attend the class, no?
Yes, Mataji.
So from 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th is holiday only. 15th
Yes.
will be anyways next class. Correct, no, Bhuvana Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. So we'll keep class tomorrow, Mataji.
Tomorrow class will be the 10th. There will be no class. It will be holiday for Diwali.
Okay, Mataji. Done, Mataji. I'll message her. Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Pasindu Bhayavaja Patitanam Pavane
Pitanam Pavane.
Vaishnava
Krishna
Krishna Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Pranam.
Dandavat.
Mataji, with your permission, can I end the session, Mataji?